All right, go ahead. What is going on, everybody? Take three. Welcome, welcome to another edition of the World Wrestling Podcast. It's been a minute, but the gang is back together. We got me, as you already know, RJD. We got Mr. Aria on my left, and we have Miss Alexandria, aka Alex, on my right. They have switched positions. It's been a minute. Don't judge us, goddamn it. We're a little rusty out here,
Yeah.
but it's all good. So, guys and girls, it is WrestleMania week. It does not feel like it's. So
Uh,
before, let me get
No.
this out of the way. WrestleMania will be this Saturday and Sunday. It is now a 2-day event.
Two.
Dos, dos for all my Spanish speakers out there. It will be, if I'm not mistaken, the pre-show will start at 6, and then it will run for about 3.5, 4 hours, maybe 4.5 on both days with a 1 hour pre-show. So I gotta ask y'all during all of this CV nonsense, how are you guys first feeling, and then how are you guys feeling during this whole WrestleMania week? How are you
Mm.
feeling about WrestleMania?
Man,
Guess
it's
guess we'll start with
it's
Aria.
yeah, it's so hard to be excited about this one because it's like we've never had a WrestleMania without a crowd, right? So this is just a crazy, crazy time to even have a WrestleMania at all. You know what I mean? So it's hard to be really excited, but there are some matches that I'm still quite excited about because they don't even need a crowd because there's so like such a good build that you really I'm looking forward to seeing some of those matches. And yeah, so that's all I'm excited about. Some of the other matches, I don't know, but I'm feeling all right though. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. You know, I'm gonna watch it. So
Aren't we all?
we are we're all gonna watch it. So, Alex, what are you thinking?
well, it's kind of true. I haven't been watching Raw and SmackDown. I guess it's kind of weird to watch something without a crowd. There's no crowd reaction to kind of get you engaged on certain stories.
Yeah.
And it's true. There's also certain matches that kind of get you engaged already because of who's the superstar. Naturally, they have the ability of getting you engaged just automatically. So it's kind of weird. It's also weird they having it 2 days. You know,
Yeah.
separating a Saturday and a Sunday. I'm probably gonna forget about Saturday.
Gonna be out and about, and it's gonna be a wrap. You know, like, oh shit, WrestleMania's today. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna forget. So if somebody lets me know Saturday, there's WrestleMania, please do because I
We'll
need
let you
to
know, yeah.
forget. Because it's kind of weird,
Yeah.
and with all these matches that are dropping, superstars are dropping out of matches. It's kind of like it's kind of hard to predict, and we don't even know if these matches are gonna be good with these new changes.
Yeah. We don't know.
This is very true. This is unprecedented territory. We have never seen this before. We probably will never see this again in this capacity in our lifetime. What's
Yep.
going on around the world? Um, there's definitely the season is not. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania season at all. The two
No.
days, 2 days doesn't bother me because I watch Wrestle Kingdom from New Japan, and that was 2 days. So it's like it doesn't really bother me that it was 2 days. But the thing with Wrestle Kingdom is they had stories built into the 2 days that led to the second day. We all know
Uh,
WWE don't really book their shit like that.
no.
They should have postponed it. They should have moved it back 2 months.
Yeah.
Let this CV thing roll over. Let it run its course. And then when everything opens back up, I'm thinking May, maybe June, the latest. And then they should have had it in June with the crowd properly. But Vince McMahon, the show must go on, as Arya
Hmm.
said off the air. That's how he
Mm.
is. And here we are. So
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Reshawn how like Vince let like a wrestler die in the ring. I mean, rest in peace, Owen Hart. But and the show still went on. So I'm like, Vince doesn't stop the show for anything. So I mean, at least he's consistent that way. He's gonna keep it going.
listen,
It's
people done had heart attacks. People done died in the ring. People done went to the hospital. Next man up. That's how he is. And then, you got to respect that man for that. But at the same time, we ain't never seen no shit like this the way it's
yeah.
going down. You have never seen ever in my 32 years the whole economy. of the world just stop in a matter of 3 weeks. Like everything has just stopped. We've never seen this. There's
Yeah.
nobody. There's millions and millions of jobs that have been lost. There's millions of people who apply for unemployment every day.
Yeah.
There's essential workers that have to put themselves in harm's way. Nobody's spending any money. You can't find toilet paper. Who the fuck would have thought that this would happen? Like it makes no sense.
Tell me
So
about it.
it's
That
it's,
is
it's
true.
really stupid and it's really I mean for lack of a better term, it's just really is amazing. Not in a bad way, but it's just like how amazing how everything is connected. And then when one thing falls apart, like they canceled the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB. Like there's no sports. The only thing we have is wrestling and UFC, and UFC is not looking too good right now. So
Yeah.
they might be forced to stop as well. So
Mm.
this
It
is
is.
uncharted territory for everybody on the planet.
And we're all
Guys,
hoping that all of you guys who listen in and support us and watch our shows, I mean, we hope that you guys are staying safe and staying healthy and washing your hands and keeping each other safe and alive because we're doing our, we're obviously all content creators. We were trying to keep you guys entertained during a very scary times, but I do hope that all of you guys are staying safe and hearing our
Definitely.
content and watching some wrestling to kind of kill the time. But yeah, it is something that all of us will be telling our grandkids about that we lived during this time, and
Or definitely
we
will.
we were alive, we survived that.
Word.
but
I remember when there, not to cut you off, Alex. I remember when there was like this little 4.2 earthquake in Manhattan. Everybody was like, "Yo, I survived the earthquake in Manhattan," and that shit was like a little baby tremor that people
Mm,
felt. Like this is real life, real stuff that's going on right here. Like people are really dying. They really pulling trucks up to people's houses and taking away bodies. Like it was The Last of Us or The Walking Dead. Like that shit is really
yeah.
happening. So this is very very strange and serious times that we living in. So everybody just needs to stay safe and listen, enjoy this little 2 day distraction that we get. And because we ain't getting nothing else. There ain't no basketball, no baseball, no football, no hockey, no tennis, no nothing, no golf, no nothing. So enjoy the 2 day distraction, and hopefully it's halfway decent. I have very low expectations. So
Alex, what do you think?
well, the thing is, with Vince McMahon, we 100% know that he's taking advantage because he knows there's work, and he's like, "What is everybody gonna watch? They're gonna watch
Mm,
us." 'Cause there's no type of sports, and people
yeah,
who like to gamble in
yeah,
sports, they're gonna gamble on WrestleMania.
yeah.
The cards we have. And it's very sad because at a moment like this, I really think that he should have just waited 2 months and let it, die down a little bit. Maybe things will get better in 2 months and actually have a crowd in Florida and actually have a better event than having it in Florida in
Performance
their
center.
yeah, the performance center. So it's kind of like he could have waited, but then again, like we said, we already know Vince McMahon. We know his patterns. It's something
Mm,
that he doesn't change. But it sucks because a lot of people, because they're not 6 feet away from each other. These superstars, they have to
mm,
be a lot closer compared to us who work and go to the supermarket and what we need to do outside. We have the ability to stay away from somebody from 6 feet. Think about these wrestlers that are not having the ability to do so, and
yeah,
kind of like very dangerous because it's putting their health at risk. And if they do get sick, how long would they be out if it does happen?
yeah.
And then coming back, maybe a full staff, maybe in 3 months if things die down. Some of them are not going to be able to come in because some of them are going to probably be sick, or some
Yeah.
of them are going to feel a certain way that their boss made them work during the virus at the time. So it's going to be very interesting the upcoming months to see what the superstars are going to play, who's going to get fired, because then eventually people will get fired because things are not doing well in the economy. So a lot
Mm,
of people will be
man,
losing
people
their
dropping
jobs.
like flies right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And but one thing we have to keep in mind is that the remember Vince was also quite involved with the XFL, which started actually really well. A lot of
Yeah, they
people
definitely
were
did start well. They had some good. They had some good.
matches.
Yeah, they had some good games.
Yeah.
Actually was watching weekly, and I would pick a game to watch while I was at work, and it was having some good games,
Yeah.
competitive games. I give him
So,
props for that.
but poor Vince, because I mean, the XFL is so doomed that, he starts off well, everyone's excited, and then the virus hits in, and, he's got to cancel that. So, wrestling is all he has now. He doesn't have any distractions. Vince, this is his baby. This is what he's done for, decades and decades. This is all he knows. And Vince can't stay home and do nothing. So, this is what he's
So,
doing. Show goes on.
He should stay home, you know.
Yeah,
At his age, you know, the virus, you know, certain people are prone to get it at a certain age, depending on your conditions of your health. He should stay home. But
yeah.
like you said, Vince is Vince. He's been doing this for many years. Sad things has happened in the ring, and he has kept it pushing. Like nothing has happened. So,
Even after 9/11, I remember he did a show where he paid tribute to the people who passed, and he said, we're doing it for the people to help get over the sad period. So, I mean,
mhm.
he pushes through everything, thick and thin.
yeah.
So, at least props to him for consistency. If anything, he is
Yeah,
consistent.
I will say that, like Arya said, the man is consistent. What you see is what you get. God damn it! So
Yeah.
Very
you
true.
you better not sit here and think that he about to cancel anything unless the damn president or Trump himself says, "Bruh, shut it down." He probably still find a way to do it underground at an undisclosed location somewhere. So that's
Whoever
just
superstar is decide whoever superstar wants to work. He's
Yeah.
just like, okay, I don't care. You're
If
working.
not,
You're
he'll
working.
revive the Mr. McMahon and he'll kind of get involved with Shane and Stephanie and yeah, he'll find a way. He
yeah,
will
he,
find a way.
he he always will. Now, as I said before, we have a 2 day match. We have a 2 day match card. I believe there's around 16 matches, 15, 16.
Wow.
That is as of today, which is Wednesday the first. Today's the first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's Wednesday, April 1st. But so by the time this comes out, SmackDown has not aired yet. So shit, he might add another match. We don't know. But for right
Mm.
now, I think there's 15 or 16 matches over 2 days. So I'm gonna start running through the bottom of the card, and I will work my way upward. Rumor has it that the end of night one will be Shayna Baszler versus I'm about to say
Becky
Ronda
Lynch.
Rousey. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Rumor has it that night two will end with Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. So
Yeah.
if that is the case, two good ways to end the show. Not gonna complain about that. So this like I said, I want to see WrestleMania just because I want to see how the hell they're gonna pull this off and how
Yeah.
it's gonna. So, shall we get into the matches? So,
Yes.
the first match we got coming up, we got Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, this will be the blow. They might blow it off. We'll see. But this is an ongoing feud, one of the best feuds they got on SmackDown right now. The
That's
Otis
true.
since Valentine's Day, a little bit before it. The Otis, Mandy Rose, Dolph Ziggler thing, love triangle. This is
Yeah.
pretty dope. Um, I'll throw it to you first, Aria. Who you got?
I think the heel wins in Dolph because I feel like that can keep the story going. Because I feel like Otis, if he wins, it's not like he gets Mandy or he gets anything out of it. I feel like if Ziggler wins, I feel like he's developing a good storyline with Ziggler. Because like you don't want the payoff to come without a crowd being there. Because you want the crowd to soak in the moment that Otis finally wins over
Yeah.
Mandy. So
You
I mean,
need the crowd for this feud for
you
sure.
you you kind of need that because Otis is obviously a hot crowd favorite. He's kind of caught fire, under the radar. People just like him. He's a likable guy. He's just a ball of joy, and his moves in the ring, he fires up the crowd. We feel bad for him. You're rooting for him to get Mandy somehow or the other. I'm also hoping that Otis gets his comeuppance when there's a live crowd. But if he gets it now, it'll be okay. But I think Ziggler winning and keeping this going until the crowds come back would be the smart booking. So if they're smart, they should keep this feud going because it's actually kind of interesting. Because there's Sonya Deville as well, and we know Sonya. she's less, she represents the LGBTQ community. So I don't know if they'll pull a swerve of that sort of angle later, because they can even pull
I
that
mean,
between
doesn't she
Mandy
go
and
out with? Is it that her girlfriend in real life, Mandy Rose?
no, no, they're not actual. Like she has a separate girlfriend in real life,
Oh, I'm tripping.
but
Okay.
yeah, no, they can.
I thought.
So
Okay, I'm thinking about somebody
yeah,
else. Go ahead. Thinking
yeah.
about somebody
So,
else.
so I'm thinking that they have so many ways to go. They could have Ziggler they could have Otis go over, they could have Mandy go over and have, like, and thing is because Mandy herself is very proud of, and puts it out there that she is proud of the community and she represents them. I think this could be a her time to actually showcase this as a mainstream thing. I know they did some weird stuff with Lana and Liv Morgan and stuff, which was really trash. But this could be interesting. So I feel like this has legs. My prediction is that Ziggler goes over, and they wait to give Otis the moment a few weeks from now, hopefully when the crowds are back.
What do you
What
think,
do you
Alex?
Eh,
That says
because,
it all.
well, the thing is, knowing how it is, they're probably gonna give Otis the victory and kind of make him beat Dog Ziggler and kind of mess up the rivalry they're gonna have. I feel like they're gonna allow Otis to win and kind of like destroy the rivalry and kind of made it have some potential of being great. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Otis is gonna win, and then after we see him win, we're gonna see something that Mandy Rose is supposed to be with him. We're gonna expect something, and maybe Mandy Rose attacks Otis and says, "Oh, I'm with Dog Ziggler," after the ending of the match, and some way somehow the rivalry is gonna still continue.
Yeah.
I think that's what most likely could happen because this is a routine that we know from WWE. That's something they will do. They will go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It will be ideal for Doc Ziggler to win. We haven't seen him win in a while. It'd be
Mm.
nice to see him to actually do something a little different, actually
Yeah.
winning in WrestleMania. So it would be good to see him win, but I don't really think that WWE is going to go with that route. I think they're going to go with Otis and they will continue the rivalry. And then after that, we're going to hate it. It's going to be like Otis should have lost if you're going to continue the rivalry. Why continue having this story and if he's not gonna lose. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Otis is gonna win and Dolph Ziggler and his rivalry is gonna continue. We're gonna continue. We're gonna hate it after this because we're gonna see what's the point of the rivalry. I will understand if there's a twist in the end that would kind of freshen it up and take it a different direction if Ziggler does lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it happening with so much that is changing in the matches on the upcoming days. So we don't know what is changing. So I don't know. It's very difficult to kind of like see where this would head. I would like Dog Ziggler to win, but I think Otis is taking this one.
Well, I got Ziggler winning too. I don't see Otis winning and getting the
Yeah.
pay. I don't see Otis winning and getting the payoff when there's no crowd because that wouldn't make sense. It would take away from the moment.
Yeah.
Basically, agree with everything Arya said. So don't see Otis winning. Don't see it. So they're gonna just keep this shit going and they're gonna keep
Yeah.
it moving. Oh, that's my prediction anyway. So
Mm.
we'll see. Okay, next we got have no idea why these fucking people are fighting. Elias versus King Corbin. Have no idea why they're fighting. Really could give a shit who wins this.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it to King Corbin just because I'm gonna give it to King Corbin. And
Mm.
Elias is like a glorified loser. He loses
Mm.
all the time. They like King Corbin actually, and yeah, I see King Corbin winning this, but could give a shit who wins this. Go ahead, Arya.
None of us really care about this. I think it's not going to do anything for either of them. So maybe Elias gets one victory for someone who always loses.
Pre-show.
Yeah, this should be pre-show. This should be like the first thing on the pre-show so that
Yeah.
the no one cares about it and no one tunes in at 6 p.m. to watch this. Anyway, I mean, I like King Corbin though. I like King Corbin. He's a good heel. We've all seen him live, all of us. But it's like yeah, this rivalry has no build, no real meaning. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Elias just because he needs it more because King Corbin already has King of the Ring and he'll be fine without it as well. So Alex?
I'm gonna go with King Cobra. It sucks because without the crowd, you can't feel the energy of the negativity that he gets.
Yeah.
I feel like the crowd makes King, the King of the Ring himself.
Ooh.
How everybody hates him. So without that crowd, there's not gonna be energy to kind of promote that match. I think the match is gonna be a drag. It should be a pre-show match to kind of get the other wrestlers ready for the upcoming matches. I
Mm.
think without a crowd, this is gonna be a bomber of a match. Both people are disliked by crowds. So without the crowd, you're not gonna have no entertainment with neither one of them. You're not gonna have Elias coming out with the guitar, actually having the crowd involving themselves in his entry, well, how he
Mm.
comes out. So I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna work. It's a waste of time. I think they just threw the match in there just because most likely, if Roman was in the match, King Cobra would have probably interrupted the match he would have had with Goldberg. I would see that kind of possibility happening. Um,
Mm.
I feel like that it's just thrown there. I think it was just thrown there since there's a 2 day show.
Yeah,
Kind of
exactly.
people to just watch the show.
All right.
Waste of time. On
Waste
this
time.
one.
Let's move
Okay,
on.
we're all in unison with that one.
Mm.
So next up, we have Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm gonna be honest. This was thrown together last minute. I have no idea why they're fighting. There was no build to this match. Aleister Black deserves better. Bobby Lashley should be booked better. I'm gonna pick Aleister Black because I know they have big plans for him moving forward. But this was literally thrown together last minute. They have no
Yeah.
reason to be fighting. So Aleister Black pick for me.
Yeah, same for me. I think Aleister Black is he hasn't really lost much except for like by de like when through this when those to AJ Styles when he lost because of interference and it was like a gauntlet match in a way where he goes through the Good Brothers and then gets to AJ and then loses. So he's been very protected. Vince has booked him well. Aleister Black, he's performing really well every night. I think he's one of the cleanest strikers in the game. His stuff looks painful. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. Um,
Yeah, he could legit kick your ass for sure.
yeah, yeah, and he's one of those people similar to Goldberg. He doesn't need to speak. He doesn't need to say anything. He's brooding. He's mysterious. He's got an air about him which looks like he looks like a superstar. He fights like a real wrestler, and yeah, I think he can put on some good matches against with anyone. So I think Aleister Black wins easy because Bobby Lashley has no build, nothing else to do. Um, Rest in peace, Lana, and whatever happened to that. Um, anyway, so Aleister Black it is. I wish Aleister Black had a shot, maybe as a three-way with AJ Styles and Undertaker, because that could have been interesting. Because Undertaker and got involved with AJ around the time that Aleister Black and AJ were feuding. So I think Aleister Black could have easily used a rub from Undertaker. Need not to beat the Taker, but in a three-way situation, you can kind of let AJ take the pin. So I think the mysterious character, the little dark side, meets like the dark phenom. I think there was potential there. Anyway, Aleister Black wins. He moves on. He does better later when the crowds come back. Alex.
Same thing, Allison Black. Oh my God. See, wasn't it Bobby Lashley versus Rusev that was
Yeah,
supposed to be here?
yeah, but they took Rusev off TV because he
Oh
won't
wow.
sign the contract.
And so
They're
that
trying to
Oh
offer him a new deal, but he's not signing his deal. So last minute they pulled him off of TV, and I think they took him off the road.
wow.
okay, so that most likely what happened to Lana too, because
I
that's why
mean,
Lana is
if
not with Bobby Lashley most likely.
Yeah, they dropped that whole storyline last minute. I guess when he said he must have told them behind the scenes. I
Mhm.
don't know this for sure, but he must have told them I'm not resigning, and they just said, "All right, well, fuck this storyline, fuck you, goodbye." Like,
yeah, I mean, I would resign if they made my wife make out with a guy every week in front of me. I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's
word.
just
They are
you know what I mean?
and it's kind of tough because it's every week you saw them like
Making
I
I
out
mean, I,
like
I know you got to do
that
your
was
job, but at the same time, at what point is
smoocheroonie.
enough enough? Yeah.
yeah, like they was dragging that few a lot, and it kind of makes you think that if they were trying to get back to trying to
Yeah,
hurt
the petty shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because he
attitude
do
era.
something that he didn't want to do before, and they probably be like, well, you know what, we're gonna put your wife into a Uh,
I'm pretty sure Lana wanted that angle though. I feel like she's made out with Ziggler in the past. She's kind of hinted at something with The Rock. Like she's a little like Lana's a little flirty. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure but she got a main event Raw a few weeks, so I think she got a good deal out of all of this. But it was just a bad angle. Lana's a bad actor. It's just weird to see couples like real life married couples kind of doing this freaky shit. You know?
I
It's
I
a
agree.
it's
and then they don't post on social media like they're not together. Like we don't know they were married not so
I don't
long
even
ago.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's weirdo
like,
shit. It's weirdo shit. You're right. It's
Yeah,
weirdo shit.
with the power of social media now, but compared to back then, like when we used to watch wrestling, when Stone Cold was married to Deborah and all those wrestlers that we didn't know they were married because
yeah,
back then it was kind of like you didn't know who was married with who because
yeah,
social media wasn't involved. You didn't see who
Yeah,
they
you
were
had to
with.
be in the know to actually know, or
yeah,
Yeah,
read magazines or something like that.
so it
yeah.
was different. It was different to actually we would not be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Rusev's wife is making out with Bobby Lashley like that, and they're
In
married. So
front of him every
mhm,
week,
mm,
week after week,
it's kind of weird.
Smoochie Rooney.
And I think that, like you said, this is such a waste. Two good, talented wrestlers
Yeah,
being thrown together just because one doesn't want to sign a contract. And I don't blame Rusev if he doesn't want to sign a contract.
I mean,
He has so much good potential. Rusev Day could have been a good potential.
yeah,
Rivalry with Bobby Lashley was a good potential, and they kind of went and took it down, whoop, down like a roller coaster, and it kind of messed it up. So don't blame him. Whatever he decides to do, it would be nice to see where he will go after this. If he does sign back again, um, hopefully they don't burn him.
yeah. They
Um,
will burn him though. Vince loves to burn.
Listen, they burn everybody on the way out. It just is what it
Yeah.
is.
yeah, and that's what I said earlier before we started recording. Well, I did say who's gonna get burned after all this withdraw out
Mm,
their matches. Let's see who's gonna survive the bear claw of
mm.
man after this. When everything settles down. So
We'll
Alistair
see.
Black for me on this one.
All right.
Alrighty. So next up, we have the women's tag team championship match. The Kabuki Warriors are the champions versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now, I originally had the Kabuki Warriors, but I am going to change my pick to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross because word on the street is that Kyrie Sane is not re-signing with WWE and she is leaving. So because she is leaving, I'm going to say I don't know when she's leaving, but I heard through the grapevine that she's leaving. So because of that, I expect them to lose this match.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate because I mean Kairi Sane is a gifted wrestler herself, and Asuka's doing some of like I guess she's entertaining now more than uh, at least in the last year or so she's been booked so badly, but she's made the most out of her green mist gimmick, and she's dancing around, and at least she's entertaining to watch Asuka nowadays. Like she's at least eccentric, and you want to see what is she gonna do. So I feel like it's sad for Asuka that Kairi Sane's leaving because I mean, not to be fair, they had a very bad title run. Like I don't even know the last time they defended the women's tag team titles. So it's been like an afterthought. I mean, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross winning, I'm not very excited about it, but I think it's a smart choice if Kairi Sane is leaving. So I'm going to agree with that, and I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss. I mean, I like Alexa Bliss for herself, but she's not been the same ever since she got those concussions a few years ago. She's not been the same wrestler anymore. So, anyway, so that's my pick as well. Alex?
Same thing. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross is gonna win this. If she's leaving, if one of the girls are leaving, Asuka, it's so sad because the gimmicky with the green mist does work. Most
Mm.
likely they made her stop doing it because of everything that's happening.
Oh, yeah. Oh
So,
my God, that would be
Yeah, I
pretty
can't be spitting
bad.
in nobody's face nowadays. Yeah, let's
yeah.
hold that off.
So most
Yeah.
likely that's never
Oh, shit,
coming
I
back.
forgot about that. That's.
That's not coming back. What did it come down to? So that gimmicky is out the window. So that's
Yeah,
gone. So
damn.
I don't know. Like the Kabuki Warriors, The last match I could remember of them is when they fought Charlotte and Becky. I didn't even know they were still champions, to be
Yeah,
honest
because
with you.
they don't do
Yo.
much with the women's titles.
So I was kind of surprised to see this happen. To even see that they're even still wrestling, but I guess Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross could carry it and see where it will go since one of them is not coming back. But I don't know. This match is it's not. I don't know where the women's tag team division is gonna go with them. Alexa Bliss was a lot better before the concussions. I feel like they wrestle with her, and you could tell they take it easy.
Yeah.
They take it very relaxed. They take it very gentle on her, and you could tell in the ring and how they perform. So
Yeah.
sucks. Obviously, they have to be careful with her because of the concussions she had. But you could tell the energy in the ring when it comes to any match that she's in, how they work. Nikki Cross does all the work.
Mm.
Most likely, that's why they teamed them up again
Yeah.
to kind of have Alexa Bliss in the cards and the stories and upcoming events because they need her there. And I think Nikki Cross plays a big part of Alexa's career because she takes most of the hits. If as you
Mm.
see any match they were together as tag teams,
Yeah.
Nikki Cross did all the stuff, and Alexa Bliss kind of stood in the background and kind of like looked like Rapunzel on top of the tower. But that's how it looks like it.
Yeah.
But it's sad. Sad that this division is kind of falling apart now.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Mm.
Next we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. So it's the Miz and Morrison, and it's the New Day versus the Usos. The champions are the Miz and Morrison. Now, word on the street is that Miz was sick, or Miz is sick. Hopefully, he feels better.
Mm-hmm.
And the Usos got upset, which would lead to the reason why Roman is out of WrestleMania. That's like word on the street. That's what everybody's reporting. So I heard this match got turned into a three-way ladder match, but not a tag team ladder match. Just one Uso, one member of the New Day, and John Morrison.
What?
So this is what
Uh,
I heard the
is it
match got
still for the
turned
titles
into.
though?
I don't know, but this is
That's
what I heard this match got turned into.
wow.
So yeah, so that's a change. So who am I gonna pick?
Mm.
I don't know. I guess I'll say Miz and Morrison just because the New Day have had the titles forever. The Usos have had the titles forever. Miz and Morrison might as well just keep it on them. They'll find a way to cancel each other out, and then John Morrison will fucking sneak up and get the damn titles. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick John Morrison for this, just because of everything that I just said.
Yeah. Wow. Alex?
Um,
Or
well, it is true. They says PW Insider reported that on Friday, Miz was not part of WrestleMania 36 taping,
Damn, Alex is quick with that reporting. God damn it.
heading home with a illness. So it is true he was not feeling so good on Friday, so he wasn't part of that taping for the 36. So most likely that's the 24-hour taping they're most likely talking about, what they always do, what they follow the superstars a couple of days before WrestleMania, get their feedback, see how they're feeling. So most likely that's the taping they're talking about that we will see next year because that's what they do. Every we wait for a whole year for them to show us that 24 hours or whatever the case is. That's what they're gonna show us. So we're not gonna see Miz in that taping that we will see a year from now. So that's kind of weird. One superstar each,
From each team,
um,
yeah.
which makes sense. You can't have too many people in the ring. That's kind of risky to have Morrison fighting because if he was around the Miz during
mm.
And
the time,
his ass got corona too if that's his tag team partner.
yeah. So if
So I
we're
mean,
they're not
well,
gonna mention if
I
he has,
can't say he has corona because
yeah,
Yeah. We don't know
we
that.
don't know. He was just feeling ill.
yeah.
Allegedly he did not have any corona,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying he was sick, and right now everybody's on edge in panic mode. If you
Yeah.
go, everybody's like, oh, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So
Rayshon, come
how
on.
dare you? How dare
Whoa,
you? Oh, yeah,
what's happening?
I'm gonna get it through the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Damn, we
Everybody's
just
on
got the virus
panic
now.
mode
Damn.
right now. So, but I can understand why that happened. But so let me not misspeak and say that he has it, but he definitely was sick. So
Mm.
So that's kind of weird because John Morrison is around the Miz. If Miz was feeling sick on Friday and he was most likely with Morrison, I don't see Morrison. I think this will be a change of a match. To be honest with you, I don't think John Morrison is gonna be performing. I have a feeling that that's gonna be either he's gonna come down with something. Hopefully, it's he doesn't come get sick because if he does get sick, this match will change to the New Day versus the Usos, and maybe they're gonna make the Miz and John Morrison forfeit the titles to kind of have somebody to take over the titles for the upcoming weeks. But hopefully John Morrison doesn't get sick if he was around the Miz, because
Oh,
then this will change the upcoming card for
yeah.
the match. So if it
I
does happen, I
yeah.
would say let's keep the titles on John Morrison and just let
Yeah.
him continue carrying it until the
absolutely.
Miz feels better.
Yeah. No, I think so. My prediction is that John Morrison and Miz will win because they just newly got the title and they're doing kind of, interesting promo work, and I think they have good natural chemistry. The only spanner in the works is that if the Miz is sick, then you don't want to keep the titles on someone who can't perform. So in that way, it would make sense to kind of them to
Especially if he's self
drop the titles.
quarantining for 14 damn days. That's a long
Yeah.
time.
So you might have to, drop the titles unless. But we also know they've taped the future episodes of SmackDown and Raw as well. So
Yes. So if you guys didn't know,
yeah,
WrestleMania was taped, and then the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania was taped as well. There is a stay inside order. I forget the politically correct term. Don't
stay
judge
at
me.
home. Stay
Stay
at
at
home.
home order in Florida right now. So no one can even go anywhere unless you're essential, which means that the performance center might just be shut down because that's not essential work.
Yeah.
So if Miz had to stay home for 14 days, then yes, they theoretically could keep the title on them, and then but Raw or SmackDown might be postponed indefinitely until the order is lifted because the Performance Center might not even be able to open. We have to see what happens
Mm.
when after this week after next Friday. Then we'll have to see what happens next the Monday after that.
Hold on, so
Yeah.
you just said they
Just to give
recorded
you
Raw and SmackDown already for the
The
yeah
one
WrestleMania?
the
after
next one
WrestleMania.
the Raw after WrestleMania.
So
So
most likely they already have chosen the new champions if there is gonna be new champions or they're gonna be the same
oh yeah. So
champions. So most likely whoever wins, we're gonna see them with the titles on the already recorded show
yeah.
because they already predicted who's gonna they made them already dress up whoever's the champion at that new the recording they just did for it. So most likely that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So
so
whoever
I think the smart pick is to just keep it on Miz and Morrison, and they can see the tag teams division can kind of play within themselves to like a number one contender tournament or whatever. Or they just need to shuffle it up because I feel like we've seen all the matches that could be between all of these combination of wrestlers. So I mean, and if you give it to the Usos, forget the Uso penitentiary, they might end up in the state penitentiary because they've been having so many DUIs that you know what I mean?
Them
Like
some wild boys. Them boys need to be easy. So,
the wild Samoans, respect to their parents, and in any case, so I think Miz and Morrison, I think they have potential to do much more with the title when the crowds come back. So I hope they win, unless Miz is really really sick and they kind of do a switch and they give it to the New Day or the Usos. Um, yeah, this could go anyway, guys. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens.
all right. Next up, we got the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. Now, Austin Theory is a rising superstar in NXT. He is actually really good. He can wrestle his ass off. So can Angel Garza. Andrade has a rib injury, so he was replaced last week with Austin Theory by Zelina Vega. Kayfabe.
Hmm.
So now instead of the Street Profits going against Garza and Andrade, they are going against Austin Theory and Angel Garza. That is why Austin Theory is in this match. I really like these guys. They can wrestle their ass off. Andrade, Garza, Theory, Street Profits, they all can wrestle their ass off. I'm going to pick the Street Profits to retain. They just got the titles, and Garza and Theory are a makeshift tag team that they threw together literally a week ago. So I don't see them winning. This match might actually be really good, and it probably would have been even better with the crowd. But I'm picking the Street Profits.
Yeah, me too. There's not much to say about this. Street Profits just got the titles. We really don't know much about Austin Theory. At least the mainstream crowd doesn't know much about him. It'd just be weird to even give the titles to someone we don't know without even a crowd reaction. You know what I mean? If it was just like a surprise pop for the crowd, that would at least make sense. But this is no reason to. And Street Profits just got the titles. Poor guys. They've been grafting for a while, and they deserve their chance to perform in front of crowds, which is where they really shine. So, much love to the Street Profits. I hope they win the titles. I hope it's a good match. Yeah, Street Profits is my pick.
When I saw this card, I thought it was, when you think it's an April Fool's joke.
Yo, I tell you, shit is just changing. Like
What is Vega doing with the two guys there? Isn't she with Andrade? I was like, she stopped managing him? I started thinking it was an April Fool's joke. And I was like, when did this happen? When did Andrade become going against for a tag team championship thing? I was confused. I don't know. I was confused. I hope Street Profit doesn't lose. They got the title. I really like them. I like how they engage with the crowd. And you're right, they perform excellent when there's a crowd there. So it's gonna be weird. I think this is their first time debuting as WrestleMania. It sucks for them not to have a crowd, a well-deserved crowd, because WrestleMania is the place to shine, and that's where a lot of them shine at, and where most of them start their legacy at. So for them not to actually have a crowd, a good entrance, and all that stuff, so it's kind of weird. So I don't know what they're planning. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I hope Street Profit wins, and I hope next WrestleMania they have another opportunity to shine the right way they should be shining. Well, all four superstars deserve it to shine the right way, especially on WrestleMania.
absolutely agree with you. Next up, we got the IC Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. This probably will be a very, very good wrestling match.
Yeah.
Top notch, good
Yep.
shit. I'm going to say Sami Zayn wins. Who you got, Arya?
Yeah, me too. I think Sami Zayn just got the title. This is his first main event title in like 6 years or 5 years of being in the business. He was NXT champion, but he won nothing. If you believe it, he won nothing, no titles, nothing, not a tag title, not a no 24/7, nothing. He's got nothing. So for Sami Zayn to have just gotten the title, it's not like I expect him to hold it forever for like a long run, but I feel like he kind of deserves some time to be recognized as a champion because he's not a bad wrestler. And IC title, I mean, it is something that has respect for old school fans. So it's really, I hope he holds on to it for a little while longer, at least till the crowds come back, and he can obviously, there's a lot of things to be done with Shinsuke and Cesaro that are in the same stable as him. Are they going to turn on him and go for the title? Are they going to expand the stable now that he's the champ? Is he going to run like a IC title stable? Like, there's a lot of things that could be done, and Sami Zayn is very versatile, good on the mic. So I think he's got good potential. So I hope the strap stays on Sammy. I'm hopefully for him to shine. Yeah, that's my pick.
I don't know what to pick here. It's weird, not because I'm like surprised that Daniel Bryan is performing, but it's just I guess I wasn't expecting him to perform. I'm kind of like, I guess I would go with the champion here. I do think he deserves to hold it. So there's some type of crowd back to wrestling. It would suck that he will lose it and he hasn't have a good run with it. But I don't know. These matches, when was this match gathered up? Because I feel like these matches are just
This match was made, I think, a week or two ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. There's been a build, a little bit of a build with
Yeah.
Drew Gulak and Daniel
Yeah, I
Bryan.
think 2 weeks ago this match was made.
okay.
Yeah.
They built it up a little bit this last week.
All right, so I'm sorry, guys. I've been a little out of Raw and SmackDown just because there's no crowd. I don't know how to react.
Oh, I feel you.
Mm.
So it's like, when you go to a comedy show and there's no laughter when somebody's not.
It's like they're bombing terribly. I get it.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird for me to watch it, even though I want to watch it. Um, let's give it to the champ. Let's hope they don't do him dirty and then give it to Daniel Bryan in mid. I'd be like, you know what? Let's give it to Daniel Bryan, and let's just let the champ sink. Let's give it to the champ.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add that it would be poetic
Mhm.
if Daniel Bryan won the IC title at WrestleMania. Because remember, after winning the IC title at WrestleMania a few years ago, he had to relinquish it and then was injured for many years until he finally found a way back
Yeah.
after like a lot of testing and stuff like that. So it would be kind of poetic that Daniel Bryan gets back the IC title after all these years of fighting injury and fighting hard to come back. So I think it's one of those things that if that happens, I'm not going to be mad. I think Daniel Bryan holding the straps is never a bad idea. So I think I'm okay with either way, but I'm down for it to go either way. But I don't know if that's as significant. I know what Daniel Bryan wants to cut down on his schedule. I know his wife is pregnant again. Brie Bella, she's has her second baby on the way. So I don't know how long Daniel Bryan's gonna be able to keep being a full-time wrestler every week. So, but he could still pull it off. I mean, we know he can. He's so versatile. He can pull off any character at any point. He's one of the best wrestlers in the game. So, um, there's no bad result here. There's no bad result in this match. Daniel Bryan or Sami Zayn, I think both of them could do well with the title on hand. So that's just a little side note. All right, we can move on.
All right, next up we got KO Kevin Owens versus the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins. This is has some build, some good promos coming out of this match.
Yeah.
This is the only match on this card where I'm really 50-50 on it. I really don't know which way this shit could go. I'm just gonna say Seth Rollins because he's got a good WrestleMania record, and this whole thing is about NXT and who built NXT. And Kevin Owens went back to NXT to help them in War Games, and Seth Rollins built NXT, and now he's coming back to NXT for WrestleMania. That's the whole purpose of this feud. So I'm gonna say Seth Rollins just because he was Mr. NXT before Kevin Owens was. So I'm gonna say Seth Rollins.
Hmm. Wow, Alex?
Quick question: Didn't wasn't there reports saying that Seth Rollins and Becky was leaving, taking time off after WrestleMania?
Maybe.
I haven't heard
I
it,
don't
but
remember
maybe
that. Maybe there was, but I don't remember specifically though. Yeah.
I haven't heard.
The thing is, if those reports are right,
Mm.
And he ain't got no reason to win.
so most likely I don't see him winning. I will have to
Yeah.
look that up and confirm my um because if he's not coming back, there's no point of him even winning this match. Okay, so wrestling talk said there has been rumors that they're gonna take a hiatus after WrestleMania 36. So they heard Becky and Seth Rollins are taking a break after April 5th. So
Like from each
Okay.
other or from wrestling?
Not from wrestling, probably.
from wrestling.
Yeah, I'm definitely changing my pick then. If that's the case, then Kevin Owens is gonna win. Cause
Yeah.
why would he win just to be off TV for like a couple of weeks that they take off?
Yeah, so if they are taking a break, we are looking to see that Becky is not winning the title then, if they are.
Oh,
So these
That
are
actually could
rumors.
be for the best if that was the case.
These are rumors. So
Yeah, these are all rumors,
I,
but
I had a feeling I read that supposedly they want to take a break because they want to focus on their relationship, and also they want to take a break from wrestling because of how the crowd is reacting to them.
yeah, they could
So
use.
it doesn't
yeah,
hurt.
they can use some time off.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't hurt. Sometimes you need the fans to miss you.
Yeah,
And I think Seth and Becky has been pushed so much this year. Maybe
yeah.
we need a little break from them. So if they are going on a break, Kevin
Mm,
Owens is winning this. It would make more sense Seth Rollins to win because he is Mr. NXT back then. So it makes more sense to kind of give it to Seth Rollins. But if he is leaving, that would kind of be stupid to kind of give it to Seth Rollins if he is leaving after WrestleMania. So I'm gonna give it to Kevin Owens on this, based on the reports and the rumors that they're saying that he's leaving.
I mean, I'm gonna touch upon what Reshawn kind of briefly did. How Seth's WrestleMania career has been pretty spectacular, if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
He's he won, obviously in spectacular fashion, cashed in Money in the Bank versus Brock and Roman and won the title, which was iconic, WrestleMania 31. He was the Beast Slayer beating Brock Lesnar. He was the King Slayer beating Triple H. So he's had somewhat of a star WrestleMania career. Um, I think he won with the Shield as well in his first WrestleMania. I think did they win versus I think it was the Road Dogg and I don't know if they won that, but it doesn't matter. But the point is that Seth is having a WrestleMania. Like he could literally in a few years make an actual play for being Mr. Forget Mr. NXT, he could be Mr. WrestleMania if he keeps it up. So I don't know if they want to spoil that WrestleMania streak by doing that. But then again, they're also very invested in KO as well. Kevin Owens, he's been their go-to player for a while. So, and he's quite dependable and can, he comes in week in, week out, puts in a show, puts in promos. So, to be fair, this build has been long. Like Seth versus KO has been building for weeks. Ever since Seth was still a face, and he was getting booed, and finally turned heel, formed a faction, and since then, Kevin Owen and Seth Rollins, the Messiah, Monday Night Messiah, have been feuding. So this has been probably the longest feud into WrestleMania. Or at least one of, or if not the longest feud. So I feel like this deserves a payoff. The promo work from, these guys have been great. The build has been long. So I feel like this deserves a payoff. And whoever wins the match, and I think Kevin Owens needs this more in his career than Seth Rollins does. Seth Rollins is now a main event guy. He's been multi-time champion. He's had his WrestleMania moments. But I feel like KO doesn't have as much going for him in terms of what he's accomplished in his career. So Kevin Owen really needs the win, but do we tarnish a potential Mr. WrestleMania career for Seth Rollins for that? Hmm. I, I, I mean, I think Seth can recover, but I think KO at this point needs the push to have his own career as well. So I'm gonna say that Kevin Owens gets the dub, but not, not. But it'll be a really good match. I think it'll be long drawn match. They'll push each other to the limit until one man can't stand anymore, and then we get the win. So I hope these guys bring the roof down in the place, and yeah, I'm hoping KO gets the win because he needs it more. Seth Rollins can recover. He'll still be in the main event if even if he doesn't win this match. So,
Just to add something to what you said, Ari,
mm,
before that, the fact that you said, why would wrestling mess up something with Seth Rollins, being that he has done so many phenomenal matches in WrestleMania. But you have to think about how, how I'm a big supporter of WWE, but I'm gonna put him also, letting it be known they have messed up a lot of people's any type of moment career. So
Oh, for
I,
sure.
I
Absolutely.
I
so
mean,
it doesn't make a
yes.
difference what they do to Seth Rollins. So if he's leaving and they're not happy of him leaving, they will mess up any potential from right here from starting now. Obviously, he will come back and he will continue having phenomenal matches because he is a superstar already. And where they should push Kevin Owens, who is a superstar, who needs that push and kind of help him out because when he was champion, right? At one
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
few
Um,
times, yeah.
Yeah.
it felt like there was not enough push compared to what they do for Seth Rollins. So if I think right now is the time to push Kevin Owens and kind of give him the right the right thing. And end of the day, they're gonna do Seth Rollins dirty anyway. So if he leaves or doesn't leave,
We know Triple H loves Seth Rollins though,
yeah,
so is he gonna let his boy lose? But Triple H likes Kevin Owens too, so we'll see. We shall see
yeah. But
this Saturday or Sunday.
can't escape you
Yes,
can't
indeed.
escape Vince McMahon.
No.
Just like Finn Balor, he's liked by Triple H, but he's not liked by Vince McMahon. So that's why Finn Balor is at NXT.
Thank the Lord. Good for him.
Yeah.
So you can't escape. Eventually, you can't escape the boss itself. So if Seth Rollins is going to NXT, there's probably reasons behind it. Um,
I mean
but,
Finn.
no, didn't you say Seth Rollins is going to NXT after this?
Did he
No,
say
he
that?
he
No, no.
said he
I
said he
said that.
might take a break with his girl.
Oh, then I must be was hearing things. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I
that's fine. That's fine. No, no, that's all
Um,
good.
but yeah, I don't know what's yeah, I don't see it happening. Listen, there's reasons why some of them are going back to NXT. They're probably not happy with the main promotion.
Yeah.
And look at Charlotte chasing after the NXT championship. So
Mm-hmm.
Next up we got the Undertaker versus AJ Styles
Mm.
in a boneyard match, which is really just a probably casket match.
Like
So
yeah.
I'm going AJ Styles to beat the Dead Man.
Or do you think it's more like a buried alive match? You
Yeah,
know,
it's
they used
it's
to have that.
I think it's something like that. You're not gonna call it a cemetery match or some crazy or buried alive match with all the crazy shit going on right now. You
Yeah,
don't
you
want that
can't
in
call it
you don't
that.
want that in the headline. So you call it a boneyard match. It's essentially
The same.
probably just a casket match. I'm gonna pick AJ Styles because the Undertaker basically has been getting the better of him this whole time, and I think that if AJ loses, it kind of doesn't. I don't think it makes sense for him to lose. So I am gonna pick AJ Styles to beat Taker, probably by lots and lots of cheating, but who gives a shit? So I'm picking AJ.
Wow, that's a big thing to say. I mean, because Undertaker's lost only twice at WrestleMania, and that too it was to Brock and Roman. So, I mean, to think that he'll lose to AJ as well and tarnish that, I don't know. I don't know if he's willing to give AJ the rub. I mean, AJ deserves it if he does get it, to be fair, but I just don't see AJ's future being that long wherein he can really use this to be like something bigger than he already is. Because, I mean, he's already a main eventer, he's already been a champion, world champion. So I don't know how long AJ has left in his tank to keep doing this at a level where
Well, he
he
said
could
he's
use
going
the.
to 45, so he's 42 or 3 now. So he just signed his last contract, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't know how long he has to keep this up. So I don't know. I mean, in that way, we could have made the same argument about Brock beating Taker, but I feel like Brock has really gone on to stay a lot of years and really cemented
Shit, he only
himself.
got to wrestle 10 times a year. Hell yeah, he's
That's
that.
true. That part is true. But when he does wrestle, we
Shit.
all we have to watch what he's doing, except when he's in the ring doing nothing with Heyman doing all the talking. That I think is such a waste of Brock, and they do that so often where he just stands there and looks menacingly into space, and it's like Heyman's like, come on, dude. I feel like that's such a we when I see Brock on the screen, I want to see him beating up people. Like that's what I want to see him do. You know, he's a beast. He shouldn't be standing in the ring and looking at into the camera. Like it just makes no sense. But anyway, I digress. I digress. This has been like the promo work from Undertaker has shades of the the American Badass from back in the day, early 2000s, Undertaker. Um, I think even his promo work, he kind of references a few things which he used to say when he was the American Badass, and it'll be interesting to see if he gets that entrance as well. I know the entrance ramp isn't that big. Like I don't know if he can even bring out a bike, but even if he comes out on a bike, I think it could be a cool thing to see because we haven't seen. Maybe he comes out on the bike, gets off the bike, and then does the raising the lights in the stadium, sort of in the performance center thing. Uh, I think this could be an interesting event, and since it need not be in the ring at all, since it could just be in the backyard or actual cemetery, this they have so much to do, so they could easily bring a bike into the and Undertaker did not even have to ride it. He could just be sitting on it, or he would just be it could just be in the background. So I think I'm excited to see an American Badass Undertaker. I wasn't the biggest fan of that particular gimmick back in the day because I felt like it wasn't Undertaker at his peak. Because at the time there was still Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. All of them were kind of the main deal, and Undertaker wasn't at his sort of peak in that gimmick. But I'm kind of interested because we've seen this Undertaker, the Dead Man gimmick for so long, and I just feel like it's good to see him switch it up to something that we can all remember. So I think Undertaker goes. I personally think Undertaker goes over because in this gimmick match where AJ's been disrespecting his wife and all of that, I just think that Undertaker losing at WrestleMania is just a big deal, and I just don't think AJ has too many years left in him to really take advantage of the rub of beating Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because we know that Undertaker's appearances are still a lot of money when he appears in Saudi, when he appears in any pay-per-view. It's a big deal. People, at least old school casual fans, still care if the Undertaker. My dad's, he still talks to me about the fact that Undertaker's still around. So I feel like that generation still kind of cares about the Undertaker. So I think Undertaker still has at least a few more appearances of use. So I don't see Undertaker losing, especially in a gimmick that suits him. In a boneyard, come on, like that seems like Taker's backyard. So I'm going for Undertaker here. I just don't see AJ, pulling the stops. What I would love to see, and if they were smart, they would book it, is if they bring in Kane somehow into the mix in terms of when Gallows and Anderson are interfering and they have Kane kind of helping out Taker when he's 3-on-1 or something like that. It could just be a cool throwaway Brothers of Destruction moment. But even without that, I think Taker can handle all three of them and rest in peace to to Gallows and Anderson because we know they're getting buried this literally buried in the boneyard. So, Alex.
Well, I'm gonna go with Undertaker on this one. Think about it. They made him bring back the American Badass gimmick, and especially at the times that we're dealing here in America with with many people losing their life with the coronavirus. By them bringing him this gimmick, he represents America. So
Mm,
a lot of his gimmick when he had American Badass, he used to come out with the flag. He used to do all this stuff.
mm.
So by making him come back with this gimmick, it is trying to show some, a stand for America, for especially with the times that we're going through at the
Wow,
moment.
that's a good angle. I like your way you're thinking. That's actually.
Because they're trying to make people
That's
realize.
very interesting if they'll do it.
Mm,
Definitely is.
Because think about it, Undertaker always used to come out with the American flag. He used to show all this patriotic stuff, and especially in
mm.
9/11 too, when he
Yeah.
did all this stuff. So I kind of see them kind of focusing on that and kind of like making it shine. Because why bring the gimmick back out of
Mm,
nowhere? They brought it back exactly at the time that we're here in America dealing with this virus and kind of showing Undertaker, just like what they did with Hulk Hogan when the whole American thing. When you think of Hulk Hogan, you think about how patriotic he was and all this stuff. So Undertaker, being that he has a match, they're focusing on that to kind of like get the fans engaged and kind of show them, we stand strong no matter what we're dealing with. and they're trying to focus on that and kind of focus on the idea of we're strong and we're gonna break through this and what was happening. So
That
I kind of
is.
see Undertaker winning this. It'll be stupid if he doesn't, especially if they bring the whole gimmicky back of the badass. And when you think about the badass, you think about him being so patriotic. I just think about back when 9/11 happened. He came out with the flag and did all this stuff. So I kind of
Mm.
that's what's mostly I see in my mind and where they're trying to focus on. But when it comes to AJ Styles, I think AJ Styles wants a contract like Brock Lesnar. So I
Yeah.
don't know if his
I think
contract
everyone
is
wants that
coming up.
contract. Yeah.
I don't know if his
Sure they
contract is
do.
coming up, so maybe that's what he's trying to do. I know he wants to cut down, which I think he deserves. I could see AJ Styles coming a little less and kind of letting the young superstars kind of shine now. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, so I don't see AJ Styles winning. It'd be dumb to bring a gimmick, fantastic gimmick at the right time right now where we're dealing with so much.
Yeah.
So I have to give it to Undertaker. I'm sorry for the background noise.
That's
My
that's
kids.
fine. No, I was just gonna say that that actually is like see those sort of takes you won't get on any other show because I feel like this is a very unique angle to think about that the American patriotism bit, which I think I also couldn't have really thought about it. So Alex, kudos to you for bringing a very different spin on things because I feel like this is
Word.
why
I
we
definitely
enjoy
didn't.
doing this.
I definitely
Yeah.
wasn't thinking about that for sure.
Yeah. So I think between Alex and I, we both picked Taker, and I think what if you are showing like someone getting buried inside a a casket and kind of being buried in the sand, the above it. I feel like Undertaker doing it won't look as bad as AJ Styles doing it. AJ Styles could just look like mocking the dead in a way. But Undertaker being the dead man, being badass, it could just like Undertaker could pull it off without it looking uh, awkward because that's just his character and he's been doing it for 25 years. So no one's gonna, pull that into a news clip and make that look bad
Think
if
about it. American Badass, that's his gimmick. He buries AJ Styles, and you see Undertaker rising above it. You kind of will symbolize America stood above the coronavirus and how we now.
not to say that AJ Styles is the virus.
No, but that's what if you think about it, why
Yeah.
they pushing the gimmick so much? It's
Yeah.
he represents America, so they trying to I guess show American people, but we're gonna we're gonna pass this situation and we're gonna come out of it greater than what we are dealing with now. We're gonna be better. So I
Yeah.
think that's the reason why they're pushing this gimmick so much.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh,
All right.
good job,
Insightful.
y'all.
Let's go.
SmackDown Women's Championship is
Mm.
next. Now, this was originally a six-pack challenge. We had the champion Bailey versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. We had Dana Brooke in this match, but Dana Brooke is self-quarantining. Hopefully, because she was apparently sick. Hopefully, she is better now. And this is a elimination match. So I'm assuming it's gonna be one, two, three, four, five. Five girls in the ring. Whoever gets pinned gets eliminated. Last two win. I'm picking Bailey to retain. I don't think that they're going to take the title off her. Actually, yeah, I don't think they're going to do it yet. I was gonna say I'd pick Naomi, but because Naomi just came back and all of that. But I think that they're gonna go Sasha Banks, Bailey moving forward. So and I think they're gonna have Bailey as the heel and keep Sasha Banks as the babyface. So I think Bailey's gonna escape with her title. I think she's gonna because there's no crowd. See, if there was a crowd, I would say maybe they give it to Naomi, maybe they give it to Sasha, but there ain't no fucking crowd. So this is so weird with no crowd. But I think she's gonna. I think Bailey retains. Probably come down to her and Sasha Banks, and then she turns on Sasha at
I
the end.
I am gonna disagree. I'm gonna say Sasha Banks wins because I feel like um I mean Bailey's been stale as hell with with this gimmick. I just haven't enjoyed
But she's
Bailey's.
still in a year old Doritos. You're right. Shit.
Yeah, it's honestly been like sad because I feel like there was so much potential when she first turned heel. You're like, oh my God, the most innocent looking, diva out there, I mean, superstar out there is now turning heel, and it's like, wow, like that seems radical, but it's like she just did nothing with it. Like, honestly, yeah, she's beaten Charlotte Flair and she's beaten other people, and like, but does she really look like a champion to any of you guys? I mean, honestly, like, I don't think Bailey's been, you know, the real deal for me. She hasn't cut it for me for a while, and I think it could be interesting to see Sasha Banks turn and kind of capture the championship and see what happens between them in the weeks to come. And that could still happen with Bailey holding on to the straps and how that fractures the friendship and how they feud and take it to maybe SummerSlam or whatever. So, I mean, the smart booking could be that Bailey retains but beats up Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks just wants to, she seeks revenge in the weeks to come and gets her comeuppance in SummerSlam. So they could book that. I could totally see that happening. Or they could see, with all the other titles are kind of staying in place, I feel like Sasha Banks getting the title at WrestleMania could also be um, a cool thing. I know Sasha Banks is very close to Vince, so he'd probably want to see her with the strap at WrestleMania, give her a WrestleMania moment she can remember for the rest of her life. And yeah, my pick is Sasha Banks. So, Alex, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks also, but not as. Think about it. Sasha Banks hasn't been connecting with the fans at the moment. So
Yeah.
right now, being that there's no fans in the arena, why not give her the title now?
That's a good way to think about it. Alex has been
Shit,
insightful
she
today.
wasn't connecting before. She ain't gonna probably be connecting after the fact. I hear you on that.
So why not give it to her now? There is no fans to be booing the fact
Mm.
that she's gonna win the title.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on. Best time for her to go against Bailey now, especially it's a elimination match. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be them two in the finale, and they're gonna, Bailey, Sasha Banks is gonna pretend that she's gonna let Bailey win, and that's when she's gonna betray her.
Mm.
Best time to go ahead and push Sasha Banks on the title because right now she is not being, the crowd is not feeling her.
No.
So, I like Sasha Banks. She's a great performer and everything, but right now she is not connecting with the fans. Something
No.
happened from NXT all the way to now. She has lost touch with her
Yeah.
fan base. So it sucks because she is a great performer, and it sucks that I have to say that she deserves to win the title where there is no fans booing her winning a title.
You know what should have happened? I feel like remember when Sasha Banks went missing after last WrestleMania when she was when she lost the women's tag titles or whatever, and she just wasn't seen for the next 6 months or whatever. And when she came back and the crowd was really hot for her, and then she was taking on Becky Lynch, and Becky, I felt like that was maybe a good time to switch up the straps to give Sasha the title then when people were actually excited to see her again, and she looked different. She got the blueprint and the blue hair and all of that. I felt like that was the right time to give Sasha the title and give Becky a little bit of a break because she's been doing the same stick every week. So I feel like that's a missed opportunity. If that had happened, now we'd at least be excited about Becky's match later with Shayna, which I think none of us are really that excited about, because we've seen Becky hold the title for almost for 1 year, right? She was the champ. She became the champ, double champ last year, and Becky two belts last year, and she's held the title the whole year, 1 whole year. So I think it's time for, I mean, not to digress, but Becky and Sasha should have switched titles at least for a short while earlier this year. It would have kept things fresh. But I'd pick Sasha again. I'd pick Sasha Banks. I hope with no crowd, like Alex said, like she at least starts to, with the strap on her, like does something, because I feel like she's not been doing much. She's been distracted with doing music on the side and getting a big paycheck from Vince. And she keeps plugging that for a while. So I just think Sasha Banks needs to clean up her act. Maybe the title will do that to her. Maybe she'll become better with the strap on her. Um, but I can see it go both ways. Even Reshawn could be right. Maybe Bailey holds on to it and they build the Sasha and Bailey rivalry through SummerSlam.
I agree on the blueprint. They messed up on that one.
Yeah,
Bring her back. You bring her back, and you say she's the blueprint. She's the favorite of Vince McMahon, and she don't win. It
yeah,
lost an opportunity that could have been an amazing opportunity to push her there.
yeah.
So maybe Rashawn is right. Maybe they keep it with Bailey because they want her to win in a match with crowds of people, but she's not connecting with the fans. So I
No.
think it will be harmful for her if she wins the title. She's gonna be known as Sasha wins the what is she wins the title one night and loses it the next night. So I
Yeah.
think this is the right time to push her. There's no fans. Maybe the fans will start reconnecting with her now that there's no fans booing her. It's a different. There's no crowd to kind of like
Mhm.
make the audience at home have a different opinion about her. So I think this is the right time to make Sasha Banks shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just to add on to that before I move on. I definitely don't know why they didn't put the strap on her back then. It turned her heel. They should have just put the strap on her to see what happened, but they didn't do shit with her. And Bailey has done jack shit with the belt. So
Yeah, very true.
we'll see what happens moving forward.
Uh,
Okay,
Next.
next NXT Women's Championship match: Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I'm taking Rhea Ripley. Two reasons. One, Charlotte is not going back to NXT. Don't see it. But I do foresee a Ronda Rousey pop up right here. It's been speculated that Ronda Rousey and Cain Velasquez are coming back. Not sure. People aren't sure if it's WrestleMania or if it's after WrestleMania. Now, this whole CV stuff might have messed that all up, all those plans. But uh, why would Charlotte go to NXT and win the women's title? It doesn't make sense. So I don't see Rhea Ripley beating her unless this is a fuck finish. And I think this is the fuck finish part of WrestleMania. I think Ronda Rousey comes out, causes a distraction. If there was a crowd, they would have went crazy. Rhea Ripley would have capitalized off of that and beat her. Then you start the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair program until Ronda Rousey ends up beating Charlotte and then goes after the women's title. But I don't think they're gonna go that route. But I do think she's gonna beat Charlotte. So I'm picking Rhea Ripley.
I know Charlotte is Alex's favorite, so I'm gonna let Alex take it before me. So, Alex, just go for it. Like, we know what her prediction is. Do we need to even ask?
Um, I'm gonna say Charlotte on this one. I'm sorry, guys.
And of course you are. Charlotte's your girl. How can you even
Not
say
surprising.
otherwise?
All right, I'm gonna tell you why I think Charlotte's gonna win the title.
Hmm.
Because they're trying to push NXT. NXT is looking like an A brand right now. It's not looking like the C show because it was Wednesdays. It's now looking like a real A show. So they want to put a name superstar on the title, kind of push NXT out there. Charlotte has been winning titles. Why not put an old champion of NXT to win it? It makes sense for the champion to keep it, to kind of push it. It will
Yeah.
make sense to kind of push it and kind of get the crowd focusing on the champion and be like, what is going on NXT? I need to know who's that. Kind of make them go focus on it. But like someone like me who don't watch NXT, I will probably watch it because Charlotte is the champion and be like, you know what, let me watch NXT because
Mhm.
Charlotte is a well-known name.
Yeah.
So I would see them actually pushing Charlotte more for the title at this for this event. Even though I don't want to, but who knows? With this thing happening, I could see Charlotte winning it just because they want that promotion out there and kind of get NXT to become more of an A show because it's doing phenomenal when it comes
I
to
yeah.
both
Because
other shows.
Yeah, because I think obviously NXT is competing with AEW on the same day, and that's an important thing for WWE to keep winning that, that war on I think Wednesday nights. So I feel like Charlotte would definitely help to bring more eyeballs on the product for sure. But I feel like if WWE has learned anything from what they did with Asuka, when Asuka, her invincible streak ended, unbeaten streak ended, at in WrestleMania at the hands of Charlotte, and she was just never the same. And she's, I mean, kind of had, a small resurgence now, but she's just not the same Asuka as we remember her. So I feel like if they make Rhea Ripley lose now, she's never going to be anything, because I feel like this is her moment to really make a name for herself and be a main eventer. Because we know Alexa Bliss can't wrestle as much as anymore. We know Becky needs to take a break. We know Shayna isn't really connecting with the fans. So there aren't, and there's only so much Charlotte can do by herself. And we know people don't care about Bailey or Sasha for the moment. So I feel like there's literally no women left. So after WrestleMania, someone's got to carry and do the work. So I feel like the smart booking, smart long-term booking would be to have Rhea Ripley retain the title. Uh, the short-term booking to compete with AEW, the booking would be to give it to Charlotte to get eyeballs on the product. So either way, this could go, but I think they would have realized the mistake they did with Asuka and make Rhea Ripley win the match. And I don't know about Ronda Rousey here. I feel like Ronda Rousey might be more useful in the Shayna and Becky Lynch match because I feel like Shayna Baszler is part of the four horsewomen of the UFC. So it's like, you know, this could be unless they're building towards a four horsewomen versus four horsewomen sort of a thing. But if they're not, then this would be a weird spot for Ronda to be at. She should be somewhere with Becky and Shayna, and she has history with both of them. So if Ronda Rousey comes back, which would be awesome, but I feel like the match would where it would make more sense would be to have her come and be a part of either at the end of Becky and Shayna or cause the finish of Shayna versus Becky. So I think that's my prediction. Rhea Ripley retains, and the Ronda Rousey bit happens later in the show, if at all it happens. Yeah.
Well, all right. All right. Well, we'll see. Should be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of Becky Lynch,
Mm.
segue. Next, we have the Raw Women's Championship match: Becky Lynch versus the Vampire Shayna Baszler. Um, I'm going Shayna Baszler due to what Alex said earlier, how people are going to chill and going on vacation in their house to quarantine, and they were taking time off because nobody could go anywhere or do anything at the moment. If that's the case and Becky Lynch is taking time off, then she ain't got no reason to win this match.
Mm.
So I'm picking Shayna Baszler, and yeah, that's my reason. I'm picking Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. Alex, what do you think?
Becky's not taking this. If
No.
the rumors are correct, she will be going on a lovely time break with Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see her actually coming to winning the title. It will make no sense if these rumors has been out for a while. If it's true, if they decide to leave after WrestleMania, what's the point of having her in the title? I don't think Ronda Rousey is gonna come back right now at this WrestleMania because of what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, it would have been the perfect time to make Becky
Yeah,
lose
that
because
wouldn't surprise me either. You're right.
Becky. It would have
I
been the
ain't getting
perfect
sick.
time. I mean, listen, Becky. It would have been the perfect time for her to come back. Make Becky lose Ronda Rousey, especially she won it a year ago. Am I
Yeah.
right?
A year ago. Yeah.
Becky's been the champion for a year.
One whole
Yeah.
year. Yeah. Even
Oh,
though she dropped the SmackDown title in the middle, but she's held the Raw title for the whole year. Yeah.
wow. Um,
Yeah, I know. It's been
it's
forever.
weird.
We, yeah, we're bored of Becky now.
Yeah. So I see that would have been the perfect time to bring Ronda back, kind of push it and be like, oh, Ronda's back and makes Becky lose the title. But I don't
Yeah,
see
and
that
then and
happening.
they could just build the match the next day saying, "I challenge you at SummerSlam," and then that's done. Like
Yeah.
that's all they need to do. If
Yeah.
they have Ronda back, Even if they come on the Titantron, they don't even have to be physically there. They could just be on the screen, and Becky gets distracted, and then gets caught in a submission, and then that's it. So that could they could just build that match. They could just announce the match on Raw next day, and then that's it. Like they don't need to do much more with Becky and Ronda until that happens, and that could be SummerSlam right there, or whatever pay-per-view in the middle that they have the crowds back. Because the first pay-per-view the crowds come back is going to be huge, whenever that happens.
Yeah.
So I think that is when they want to see fireworks. So that I mean Becky and Ronda there at any point could be good. Becky, I'm sorry, even Ronda versus Shayna could also be have some legs. So any involvement of Ronda Rousey, will obviously bring eyeballs to the product. It is WrestleMania. We know Vince is going to try to make it a little more exciting than it is right now. So yeah, I think even on the screen, if you just see via Skype or whatever that Ronda Rousey is just causes a distraction and costs the match. I think even that would be fine with me, given the situation that she shouldn't ideally risk herself and be there physically unless she wants to. I mean, yeah. So that's my take. Yeah, that's that with the Raw Women's title.
All right. So next up, we got the match that I am second most looking forward to: John Cena versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Now, this match should be getting quality movie time as well as the Boneyard match. So these two
Hmm.
matches should be getting movie quality time.
Hmm.
So I really hope that they don't fuck this match up.
Hmm.
And I hope it's fun. I hope it's wacky. I hope it's pro wrestling. I hope it's fun.
Yeah.
And I predict that The Fiend will beat Mr. Cena because Mr. Cena is going back to Hollywood.
Hmm.
So he's just here for a one off payday. And Bray Wyatt is going to get his win back. So I'm picking The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt needs the win. After what happened with Goldberg,
Shit, he definitely does.
he definitely does. And plus, Bray Wyatt's career has, until the Fiend, has been on the down low since the Wyatt family, because of John Cena and his loss to John Cena a few years ago at WrestleMania, when Bray Wyatt was hot and he had all of that going. Like he lost to Cena, and obviously Cena with the golden shovel, nearly buried Bray Wyatt. But Bray Wyatt obviously has done so well as the Fiend until that Goldberg fiasco. But I felt like the build for Cena and the Fiend has been pretty good given the situation and the crowds and all of that. I think they made the most out of this match, and they have history. Wyatt family versus Cena has been they have history there, and yeah, I think Bray Wyatt needs the win, and the Fiend needs the win, and I feel like with the Firefly Funhouse gimmick match, they could really give Bray Wyatt creative control of how he wants to script this, and how dominant he wants to look in beating John Cena, because it would re-establish the Fiend as a powerful, strong character. Because this is still John Cena we're talking about. He's Superman John, big match John. Uh, the champ is here, John. I feel like beating John Cena um, would do the world of good for the Fiend. And obviously Cena has so much. And Cena, thank you once again for following me on Twitter. I know we did that before.
Word, I
So
remember that.
even though I'm rooting, even though I love John Cena, I think the Fiend needs it, and we know Cena is at this point in his career doesn't need doesn't need this win at all. He's got too much on his plate anyway. So we love you, Miss John Cena, but the Fiend needs this. The Fiend is gonna win, and he's gonna be dominant in victory. So that's my prediction. Looking forward to this match. I'm looking forward to what happens. And Bray Wyatt's done some gimmicky matches before with Randy Orton, with Matt Hardy. He's done some weird weird matches before. So this will be interesting as well.
Did Alice go?
Yeah,
No, I'm
Alex.
the
Yeah,
one. I was waiting
yeah,
for.
yeah, 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 Alex. Go,
Put it
go for.
on. I had to put it on mute, guys. I'm sorry. I have two little ones home.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
um, Bray Wyatt has to win this one. It sucks that there's no fans because this would have got the fans riled up on this match. We haven't seen John Cena on a WrestleMania actually performing. I'm kind of excited to see John Cena performing. John Cena brings memories as a teenager and everything, so it's always phenomenal to see John Cena performing. It sucks it's not going to be the way we would love to see John Cena actually perform and see Bray Wyatt to come out and everything. But I want Bray Wyatt to win. But I do not want them to do the joke they did with him and Seth Rollins when he fought Seth Rollins the first time.
Oh
And
my God.
then John Cena gives him the beating of his life, and they cancel the match and be like, "Oh, it's over, it's over." That would be such a
Oh
waste
my
of
God.
match. Nobody's gonna want to see it. A repeat of it
A
to
Hell in a
to
Cell.
say for
Yep.
them to be like, "Oh, we're gonna just make them do the match again a few months down the line up to things get better." They have to push it out the right way now because there is no way nobody's gonna want to see a rematch on this match. They gotta make John Cena lose. He's out the door right now. John Cena's more about making the movies now. Just like when we saw The Rock at one point, when we saw Rock doing the transition of going into becoming a superstar. So I think they need to bring and help Bray Wyatt in the thing to make it hot again because it lost a little bit of steam and it started losing the steam when he lost the very first match to Seth Rollins with that joke with the chairs and Seth Rollins was just beating him and everything. It kind of messed up the Fiend's thing a little bit.
Hmm.
Well, I think they need to push him
Definitely
and
did.
they need to push him now and this is the best time to do it. Give it a fair match. Let John Cena also fight him, not getting beat up by the Fiend because then it's gonna be taken as a joke because he got beat up by Goldberg. So it's like you gotta push it, gotta be equal. Let them both hit each other, make it an entertaining match, and push Bray Wyatt to actually win this match.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. This one I'm going to be looking forward to. That's going to be a goodie. Next we have Edge versus Randy Orton in the Last Man Standing match. This is probably the most anticipated
This
match with the best build on the whole damn show.
by
This is
far.
this is the match that I am disappointed in the most because I feel bad for Edge. You fucking gone for 9, 10 years. You haven't been in WrestleMania, and then the first WrestleMania back is supposed to be a joyous occasion, and you gonna get crickets because there ain't no crowd. So this guy, I feel really sorry for, but the show must go on. Edge is 99.999% winning this match. And this should be a goodie. Pray to God he doesn't get hurt. Let's just keep it safe because we know these motherfuckers are crazy, both of them. So this is easy one. Edge winning this match, hands down. Feel sorry for him, but I got Edge.
Yeah, no, Edge has to win because Randy Orton like RKO'd his wife, Beth Phoenix. It's like you can't touch a man's wife, I mean, unless you're Rusev, without without getting like comeuppance and get the beating of a lifetime. So obviously, with the last man standing and no DQ sort of a thing, with no DQ, there's so much they can do. Smoke and mirrors and really hard chairs, tables. We know that Edge is him and the Hardy Boys and Dudleys, they were the pioneers of tables, ladders, and chairs in a way. So we know Edge can, mix it up with some tables, chairs, and ladders if he needs to. But we don't want him to get too hurt. They don't even need all of that. To be fair, this is a blood feud. The two guys who want to beat each other up, and I feel like the promo work has, like Edge without an audience, the promos that he's doing are probably the he's showing all the kids out there. That's how you do it, son. That's how you freaking do it. These are two people who know each other so well and who are elite A level guaranteed future. I mean, Edge is already a Hall of Famer. Orton is a future Hall of Famer. It's this is the cream of the crop. If this main evented, no one would complain. No single actual wrestling fan would be offended by this match headlining one of the two nights at WrestleMania. Because honestly, uh, Edge's return at Royal Rumble made me, as someone who's been a fan of the product and knowing the struggle that Edge would have gone through, similar to what Daniel Bryan went through, similar to what Roman went through, but 9 years outside of the ring, as one of the, when he retired, he was the champ, he was the top guy, and he's been grafting in the business. Dude, if you guys remember WrestleMania 17 with the Hardy Boys and Dudleys and Edge and Christian, the ladder match, the epic ladder match, that was 19 years ago. 19 freaking years. That's 2 decades. That's majority of my lifetime, majority of Alex's lifetime, majority of your lifetime in Edge having been competing at WrestleMania. So these are veterans in the game. They're gonna put on a classic. It's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be a blood feud. This match deserves a main event. Even if it doesn't main event it, it's gonna steal the show. So, Edge has been wanting to return for 9 years. Think of how much he's gonna pull off in this match. I hope he doesn't get hurt or get carried away in the moment, because obviously, when you've not done this for a while, you can be rusty, you can be a little callous. But knowing Randy Orton, knowing Edge, we're expecting nothing but carnage in this match. So main event level stuff, the best promo work in their careers. He's borrowed the best in Randy Orton. Randy Orton looks like the Viper. He looks like the Legend Killer. He looks like the sadistic voices in my head killer that he can be. This is the best that Randy Orton's done easily in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So this is the best of Randy Orton, the best of Edge. This should be a classic. This is a match that people should study years down the line. So I hope they pull it off. I really do. It's a bummer that the crowd is going to miss it, but we know that we're going to watch the tape of this match for years to come. So this is going to be a classic. I'm going to throw it over to Alex.
I agree. I agree with you guys on it sucks that he's coming back after an injury.
Yeah.
This will be his moment for WrestleMania, like the moment he had for the Royal Rumble. And he's not having that. It sucks for two amazing superstars. As you guys know, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan.
Your
But
husband.
yeah, that is my husband. We got divorced. That's why he's remarried, but it's okay. We moved on.
So have you.
But
Goodness gracious.
I would want Randy Orton to win, but it won't make sense for Randy Orton to win. The only way I could see them making Randy Orton win if they have an upcoming build-up to a next pay-per-view with them. I could see it happening because they both are pushing great promotions. They know how. You're talking about Randy Orton that's been under Triple H's wing when he started and been knowing how to carry promotions with Triple H when they did Evolution together. So I could see them probably giving it to Randy Orton. He has not been very happy with the company lately. So I could see them trying to give it to him and kind of growing a future rivalry more with Edge to the next pay-per-view to kind of get the crowd involved. And then maybe giving it to Edge there. But at the same time, why do Edge dirty? Especially on this WrestleMania comeback and not giving it to him, especially now. I could see, give it to Edge, and they could do another match again. And
they should.
Still have
Very true. They could keep this going for as long as they want.
Yeah, they could. They could easily take it to SummerSlam if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could. They could give it to Edge and maybe just wait until they start having a crowd and kind of make that rivalry again happening. Or like I'm 50-50 here on both because they could take it either way and make these. They could make another phenomenal match with both of these superstars. We're talking about Edge that knows how to carry a promo when he was in a tag team with Christian. He was a phenomenal champion. He knows how to carry promo, just like Randy Orton. People still get excited about Randy Orton when he's about to do the RKO. He knows how to get the crowd engaged. So even if they do another match with them again in the future, the crowd is gonna love it. So I'm 50-50 here. I would like to see either one to win, but if I have to pick, because we have to pick here, it will be Edge.
All right then.
Yeah, I definitely see that too. Most anticipated match of the whole WrestleMania to probably all of us. Next, we have Goldberg versus TBD because we don't know who the hell he's fighting. So, if you weren't around when we first started, word on the street is that Roman pulled out because the Miz got sick, the Usos got upset. Roman pulled out for safety reasons, which makes a lot of sense. Good for him. I hope he stays home until this is over. So, word on the street is they put Braun Strowman in there to face Goldberg so Goldberg could get these hands. So, my prediction is that Goldberg is going to retain somehow, some way. Don't know if he's going to jackhammer Braun Strowman because he could barely fucking jackhammer Bray Wyatt. But I'm still gonna pick. I'm still gonna pick Goldberg
Oh man.
because they really want Goldberg and Roman Reigns to. They want that match. So
Spear versus spear.
being that they want that match, they're gonna get that match with the crowd. They're not gonna just give that shit away with no crowd. So I'm gonna pick Goldberg to beat Braun Strowman in probably a 2 or 3 minute match.
Wow. You're selling Goldberg short. Put respect on that man's name. He is 53 years old. If Vince McMahon wasn't a fluky one-time champion, Goldberg would be the oldest WWE champion in history, which I think, in terms of an active wrestler, he is the oldest champion in history. So you've got to put respect on that man's name. Yes, he isn't the Goldberg of 20 years ago. WCW unbeaten streak, 173 and 0. But Goldberg is Goldberg, dude. Like he's the only other man outside of Brock Lesnar that has that actual feeling that he's gonna tear through the competition. Just gonna beat them up. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be lethal. It's gonna be, it's gonna be over. So I think it would be tragic. It's tragic that Roman couldn't be here because Roman could have used the rub from Goldberg. Because obviously Roman is the future or is the face of the company, sort of at this point in time. He could have really used beating Goldberg under his wing. Having said that, Braun Strowman could also definitely use beating Goldberg as a thing because Braun really hasn't had much else happening in terms of like big main event. I mean, WrestleMania sort of a thing, even though he has had like single-handedly won the tag team championships and stuff like that. I feel like beating Goldberg could make Braun Strowman, something of a main eventer, which we haven't seen him have the strap, the main strap, the Universal title. So I think this could be his moment, but I would not be surprised in the least bit if man Bill Goldberg, much respect to the guy, if he holds on to the title until SummerSlam and fights Roman Reigns for it at that time when the crowd is back, etc. But there's one scenario which I just thought about. What if the Fiend, to take revenge for what happened in Saudi Arabia, and because of the history the Fiend has with Braun Strowman, what if he interferes, or what if he, kind of does a spooky distraction in the match, and that costs either Goldberg the title and gives Braun Strowman the strap, and then Braun and the Fiend can then kind of face off for the title with the history that they have. Imagine the money that could be made of that history. So I definitely think that the Fiend could get involved here some way, and I think it would make sense. He's got so much history with Braun Strowman. In fact, that's how he got a break in the business. And he's got, obviously history with Goldberg recently. So this could be a way of tying up that storyline of people being pissed off about Goldberg beating The Fiend. The Fiend gets his comeuppance. Braun Strowman gets the main title. Braun versus Bray Wyatt going into SummerSlam. There's a lot that can happen here. So I think unless Vince is fixated on Roman beating Goldberg, we could see a very interesting Braun versus Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, going on in the future. So I'm excited about that. But I love Goldberg. I mean, honestly, as long as Goldberg holds on to it, I'm never gonna complain about Goldberg because I love the guy. He's one of the reasons I love still watching wrestling. So it's I'm never gonna tire of Goldberg. I'm a big Goldberg fan. Goldberg's my man. He's the dude. I want him to turn 54 and be able to be the officially the oldest champion in history because Vince McMahon doesn't need to hold that spot for
Yep.
sure.
Vince don't
Yeah,
need the whole no spot.
yeah. What do you think, Alex?
Well, while you was talking, I did a little bit of research.
Mm.
It says this website called
Detective Alex.
GiveMeSports.com gave 5 potential replacements for Goldberg. Who could face Goldberg? They said the reason the big dog decided to withdraw because the following superstars had been quarantined because they have Corona-19 was because of Rey Mysterio and Daniel Brooke. So that's why he withdraw of the match because his health came first.
Mm.
There's reported that Rey Mysterio and Daniel Brooke has been quarantined because of the Corona-19. If that is so, hope they feel better and we'll see them in action very soon. Potential people, they said Braun Strowman is one.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus, he
Oh
had
yeah. Okay.
cleared to wrestle a couple of months back.
Yeah, yeah,
Very
yeah.
true.
They mentioned Jeff Hardy. He has also been clear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
They
definitely has.
also said here what not happening because he's already in a match. Daniel Bryan, because he's already in a match himself.
Yeah.
So I don't see them actually putting him there. And also Bray Wyatt's already in a match.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 3 potential people. We're looking at Braun Strowman and Sheamus and Jeff Hardy.
Mm.
Um, it it would be nice to give Braun Strowman the title. It would be actually perfect to actually make him shine. He has never won a title, especially a WWE championship. This will be the perfect opportunity to give it to him. Um, but if Sheamus comes back as a champ to face him, it would be a good time also to give it to Sheamus and to kind of give a boost of his career since he was out because of an injury and
Mm.
kind of hold that opportunity to bring Goldberg back later on for a future match against Roman. There's no point of having Goldberg there when there's no crowd. They bring Goldberg back for the crowd to get the crowd excited. So why kind of keep him as a champion? It would kind of be useless.
No, but I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to mean to interrupt, but it's like, imagine when you're actually taping this WrestleMania, you can do retakes. You can so if Goldberg messes up the jackhammer, you can do it again and get it right. So I think this opportunity of having pre-taping the show works in Goldberg's favor in terms of he can take as long as he needs to get the right moves and get the right angles and be able to get the spears in and actually look good. So I feel like the lack of crowd need not hurt Goldberg because Goldberg always, I mean, he does get a great crowd reaction, but it could at least give him chances to get the jackhammer right. And I think he could easily jackhammer Sheamus. To be fair, back in the day, he could jackhammer the Big Show very easily. So I mean, we know Goldberg's been working out for 6 weeks now for this match. So I think he could jackhammer Sheamus if that were the case. But yeah, I just want to say that Goldberg, would have the chance to at least, put on a show in a pre-taped setting like WrestleMania, like this WrestleMania is. Yeah, Alex, I'm sorry I interrupted there, but I just thought that that's actually an interesting thing you brought up.
No, of course. It could be a possibility of a comeback for Sheamus. And also with I'm so sorry, I lost the concentration of thought.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
no, it's fine. And then having Sheamus win the title would be kind of. We already saw him as a champion. It'll be a good comeback for him.
Mhm.
And when it comes to Jeff Hardy, it will be a little different. Why not throw Jeff Hardy? And it would be a good loss for Jeff Hardy. Not like it would be nice to see Jeff Hardy with a title. It has been a very long time to see him actually carrying a champion belt, like a WWE champion belt, not a tag team belt.
Mm.
Especially now that his brother left. As you notice, Jeff Hardy always shines a lot better when he's not with his brother. So this will be a great opportunity to kind of see him get a title and actually become a world championship and kind of give him the victory now. But with these three potential people that could possibly replace Roman, it will be very interesting to see who they will pick. I'm between Braun Strowman and Sheamus. I would like them to actually see them come in and win a title.
For me, if anyone but Braun gets the match, none of them should win the title. I just don't see Sheamus being better than Goldberg, which means being better than The Fiend. I just don't see that Sheamus. I mean, even though I think it could be smart booking because Sheamus can perform every week and all of that, but he could use the rub, and I can see that a little bit. But honestly, I just don't see Goldberg's stronger than The Fiend if according to their storyline, right? So is Sheamus stronger than The Fiend then? I don't know. I mean, even though Sheamus has been undefeated since he's come back in squash matches, but I just don't know if Sheamus has
don't know if he's gonna beat the Fiend though. That's kind of
yeah, that seems like a stretch.
Yeah.
So the only one who looks realistic uh, would do justice to the championship would probably be Braun, given that he's kind of avenging the Fiend Bray Wyatt, his former mentor, or Wyatt family uh, leader. So yeah, that's the only angle. If it's Sheamus or Jeff Hardy or anyone else, Goldberg should absolutely win that match because no one should look stronger uh, than the Fiend by extension of Goldberg having beaten the Fiend. So I just want to say that if it's Jeff Hardy or Sheamus or anyone else apart from Braun, I don't think any of them should win the title from Goldberg. They could keep Goldberg as a special attraction with the Universal title at a later point when SummerSlam or something else, but they don't need to give up the title to anyone but Braun. That's my take. Uh, Rayshawn?
It's very true. Yeah, I think Goldberg's gonna win.
Mm.
I just think that they want the title on him, and they want to do him and Roman. And in order to get to him and Roman, you got to keep the title on him, and then progress it for the next couple of months until this Corona shit is over.
But what happened if a couple of months there's nothing happening? We don't even know how long this is gonna last.
Then they'll keep that shit on him as a part timer. They keep that shit on Brock as a part timer for a whole year and a half.
I feel like this is if Braun Strowman does come in as being. I would like to see him win the title. Why not kind of bring him back being the strong man? They kind of messed up that gimmick with Braun Strowman. He was a potential person to look like to carry a championship, and he never has. So if they're going to make him face Goldberg, I think this is the best time to make Goldberg drop it. Make Goldberg maybe win it again off of Braun Strowman when they start having the crowd back in and kind of push the Roman versus Goldberg maybe for SummerSlam.
You're right. I wouldn't complain if Strowman won.
Yeah.
I would not complain.
Yeah, and then push it maybe later on, maybe him versus Goldberg.
None of us will complain if that happens because Braun's been working his ass off for the last so many years, week in, week out, match after match, Saudi, in the States, wherever. Like he's been a workhorse. He deserves the title, man. And I feel like they should have pulled the trigger with him when he was up against Brock, a year or so ago. They should have given it to him then. They kind of have messed up Braun Strowman a little bit because it's like he's an unstoppable monster on one side, and then he just doesn't win the championship ever. Like it just seems sad. So I feel like this is the moment, if at all that is the case. But I would love to see the Fiend kind of distract Goldberg a little bit so that it looks like next time they face each other that Goldberg has a chance because it will it can extend the rivalry beyond just this one match. All right, let's move on to the next.
We have reached the top of the card. So we have Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. I feel sorry for Mr. McIntyre. He's come a long way. He left. He got fired. He got bulked up. He got big. He came back, did his thing in the Indies and the independent circuit, and then he comes back. He finally gets to the top of the mountain to kick Brock's head off, only for there to be no crowd. So I feel sorry for this guy. I hope that when he wins, because I do think he will win, I do hope that it's a nice consolation prize that he won. It just sucks at the situation, but Drew McIntyre deserves it. He's gotten himself over with the fans as a babyface. He's a badass babyface. He's fixed himself. He's improved, and now it's time for him to win the belt. So I got Mr. McIntyre in the main event. Who y'all got?
Yeah, it has to be Drew's moment, and it just has to be. I feel like he's been in the business from his days of 3MB and before that, um, to now. What a turnaround of a career he's had. There's going to be no other time in Drew McIntyre's career where he could legitimately beat Brock Lesnar if it isn't now. Like there isn't any other moment. So if they don't pull the trigger on Drew now, they will never pull the trigger on Drew as the top guy.
Now or never. Strike when the
It's
iron's hot.
you've got to strike now. And Drew deserves it. He's been in the business. He's a veteran in the business at this point, even though he's never been the main guy. And he looks the part. He looks exactly like what Vince wants in a wrestler, like someone who can cut a strong promo. He looks huge, tall, jacked, strong. Literally everything that Vince. He's Vince's wet dream. So he's the only one. He's the only one who Vince would feel comfortable in beating. He's got the stature to beat Lesnar. Like you could see that a few Claymore kicks, not one. It'll take more than one. But a few of those should lay out the beast. And I've seen Brock selling really well for Drew. If you've seen the build up to this match, like Drew's looked like a monster, and Brock has helped. Brock has sold for him. He sold the hell out of that Claymore kick and when he jumped off the top rope in Royal Rumble. And if you remember the Royal Rumble, Brock put in a performance. He put in a shift. He beat everyone, 16, 15 other guys, and then finally got knocked out. So he basically did his whole Royal Rumble stick of beating 15 other people just so that he could put over Drew McIntyre. So think about that. Think about the investment that Brock Lesnar has put into Drew McIntyre to make him look like a star, to make him look like a main eventer, someone who's a legitimate threat. And even in the build up to this, Drew McIntyre has gotten the best of Brock Lesnar physically. So this is Drew McIntyre's moment. It's now or never. If they give it to Brock, I'm gonna be really pissed. I love Brock, but this is not. This would be just brutal. Um, so Drew McIntyre is my prediction. Alex?
Drew McIntyre too. It'll be dumb to not give it to him. I know there's no fans there, but
It
come
sucks.
on. He's getting a phenomenal push. Especially Brock Lesnar. I do agree. There was one part that did show that when Brock was laying on the ground and Brock told him, "Back up that belt." Well, he's lying.
Yeah, yeah.
Back up the belt, because you could see there's a good chemistry between both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're friends in the real life, because I know Brock Lesnar doesn't have a lot of friends out.
He doesn't like people. He
He
just
doesn't like people. So the way they're working together, I'm trying to think if they're friends in real life. Their chemistry is really good compared to other matches that Brock Lesnar has given his all to. You could tell he's more interested in this match compared to other ones that he has been in. So I kind of want to see Drew McIntyre to win this. This is his time to actually shine. I know there's no fans there, but him winning the title and kind of letting Brock Lesnar be pushed out the door a little bit and kind of focusing on Drew McIntyre and kind of giving him that face to get people are going to be excited about him winning. The only thing I want them to do, because every time we get excited about a champion winning, just like with Kobe,
no,
they fucking
no.
like that. I hope they don't bring it down as quickly as a roller coaster when he wins the championship. I hope they kind of bring it and kind of push it and kind of make him look great, because there's no point of him winning a title off of Brock Lesnar and for him not to have an amazing title run.
Yeah, he needs to have the title run of his career. Basically, this is his time. This
Yeah,
has to be it.
It
yeah,
definitely is his time. Like this is now or never. If you don't fucking pull the trigger now, then you ain't never gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah, I definitely remember when he came, he was very thin. He had the blonde hair at that time. Vince loved him. I forgot why he left at that time period or what happened when he was why he left so early with WWE. Something must have happened, and he came back. Now he's different. He's buff. He looks definitely somebody that could face Brock Lesnar and give him a challenge. And I'm excited about this match. I hope they do the right thing and they push it as much as they can to kind of like give him the best title run they could possibly give him.
All right then.
Man, this is gonna be one long ass show. I'm glad this shit is 2 days because
Yeah.
this goddamn match card is long as hell. Like
Yeah.
Jesus
We're at
Christ.
the 2 hour mark
We
at
at the
this
two
point.
hour and 20 something minute mark.
So what's
Like,
fun?
thank God we under quarantine and we don't actually have to go to jobs tomorrow. I mean, I
No,
do, I do, but I don't have to go early. But I'm just saying, Jesus
you know
Christ.
what's funny? Because while y'all was talking, I was looking up because I looked for a better website when it came to Goldberg, this Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even have Braun Strowman as one of the persons to face Goldberg. They have King
Wow.
Corbett, they have Sheamus, they have Dolph Ziggler, they have Samoan. I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. Samoan Joe. Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
because his 30-day suspension is over, so he's
Yeah.
allowed.
Oh, wow.
And they have Robert Roode here,
Yeah. Robert Roode. Yeah.
Kevin Owens. So
Imagine Robert Roode versus Goldberg.
I could see it. I could see them throwing Robert Roode to kind of make
Oh.
Roman give Goldberg the win, a quick win.
Oh, wow. That would be like a
Yeah.
movie.
It's gonna be interesting how they
That,
play it. I mean, that we all obviously have heard the rumors, but it's gonna be interesting to see who they actually throw up in there. This
but
Mania card has been slashed up and down, and
I'm
they've
so
thrown
happy
in
that
there. Crazy.
I'm so happy that the surprise is who's going to face the Universal title and who's going to
I
be the Universal
say
Champion. In
that's
a way, it's kind of the only thing that's we don't know. So I'm glad that it hasn't leaked. I'm glad someone's not like just put the name out there.
Trying to put spoilers out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they don't say it. I hope they show it the day of.
Yeah, please, if
match.
any of you out there know the result, have seen the taping, or have any
No
access,
fucking spoilers,
please
please.
don't spoil it for the rest of us. We
Yeah,
really want to see
I
this.
would be surprised.
Yeah, I need the surprise.
Ooh,
That's the only thing we're looking forward to, guys. Please don't take that away from us. Yeah.
Listen, if they put somebody disappointing that is gonna let us get mad. At least let us see it and let us get mad while we watching it and be like, "What a joke is this?" I prefer to be surprised. I hope to keep it a
Me
secret,
too.
and that would be
All
phenomenal.
right.
Guys, we
This has
fucking
been
made it. We
the
made it.
longest episode. Well,
It is 12:02, and we have made it to the end of the WrestleMania card. Back from our long hiatus. So this has been great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad we decided to wait till today, so we can have Alex up on here because she was free. So that's awesome. So even though she took a power nap, she came back ready to roll.
she rose up like the Undertaker.
I'm glad she took a power nap because if she didn't, she might have fell asleep.
Oh God, it's so funny. When Ari called me, I was like, "Hello." He was like, "You ready?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me 5 minutes."
Yeah, I knew what that meant, but
I was
I'm
like,
glad,
yeah, she's
I'm glad she actually came on though. It wouldn't have been the same without. I think Alex was quite sharp in this episode. So
absolutely, especially with her damn reporting on the low. She's like, "Well, I
Oh.
just looked at that, guys, and
yeah,
while you were talking, I looked it up, and yeah, this happened and this happened."
and some of her angles, like the Undertaker being the representation of America, are like, wow, that is some meta level thinking.
I'm
All right,
telling
let's bring
take
this
that-
to a close,
right,
guys.
that
It's
power
gonna
nap,
be
it would have never happened. I'm telling you.
editing. This is gonna be hell. So let's bring this recording.
Word.
Let's close the show. Rayshon,
So,
bring us home.
so I am going to, as always, I'll start with Aria. Aria, let the people know where they can find you at. And then we're gonna pass it over to Alex so she can let the people know where they can find you at. And then I'll bring us to a close.
All right, people. So again, this is Arya Das, Ariyadadas. That's I'm across all social media at Arya Das. I'll put all the links in the description below for all of us, so you can find us and subscribe to us and follow us and give us some love. This has been our longest show, but deservedly so because this is WrestleMania, the
Yeah, I
show.
mean, shit.
I mean, if it had to be anything, it had to be WrestleMania that we do this for. So we're doing this for you guys in our free time, taking time out of our busy schedule. So if you guys can subscribe, if you guys can follow us across each of our, individual social media, we'd really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy. We're all rooting. We're all in this together. We'll get through this. Let's enjoy the show. 2 nights of WrestleMania, and we're gonna try to bring in some more content between three of us as well. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. We're going to bring you some more as WrestleMania comes around. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to hand it over to Alex to plug herself. And yeah, Alex, go for it.
For my social media platforms, I'm sorry because they're all over the place. I'm still trying to get them all be like Ari, all cross platforms.
Yep.
Mine's is gonna be for YouTube, Solitude of Serenity. On IG, it's gonna be Hey, I am Alexandria. And I don't know my Twitter, but Ari will go ahead and link it below for you guys because I don't know it. But yeah, hey, follow us. It's nice to have us all back together. We always have created
Such-
stuff together. But yeah, follow us and like, comment, subscribe. And thank you for listening for a 2 hour show,
Damn. Yeah, if
Yeah.
any of
Word.
you are actually here and haven't stopped before, much respect. You guys are the real G.
Listen, listen, listen. No
Oh,
corona over here. I'm choking.
God
Listen,
bless you.
uh,
Rest in peace, my man.
listen. We have, listen. It's been a while. We came. We rocked out. If your ass is on under quarantine like everybody else, you ain't got shit else to do. So you better make it to the end of this show. God damn it! All this good ass content we bringing y'all at 12 o'clock at night. Listen. Uh, as you already knew, RJD, that's me. You catch me on YouTube, Rayshawn Davis on Facebook, Rayshawn Davis on SoundCloud, Rayshawn Davis on IG, Rayshawn underscore Davis on the
Mhm.
Twitter, RJ699, and on Snapchat, RJ199. And, I had to run through it. I'm not like Aria yet, but there's a lot of Rayshawn Davis and RJs in there. So bear with me, goddamn. But listen, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe to all of our channels. It's going to be under my description as well. It's going to be under Aria's description. It's going to be under Alex's description. Catch us on every social media platform. We thank you for joining us today. This is WrestleMania. It's a special time, so we got to rock out and give the whole match card and give all our opinions because it is WrestleMania. It's the biggest wrestling show in the world every single year. So it's going to be the longest show every single year. And thank you for rocking out with us. Hit us up. Stay safe. Stay your ass home if you can. And if you can't and you're essential like me, stay with some gloves on and a goddamn mask. Take your ass from your house to your car to your job, back to your car, back to your house. And that's all you need to do, and you're going to be all right. So, from us over here, WWP, always to all of you, we are out. We love you. Stay safe. Peace out.
Peace.
Word up.